Stranger Things is finally over, Netflix's most ambitious project yet, arguably the biggest contributor to its success. From gaming, movies, and the eventual Warner Bros. Merger, we may have Stranger Things to thank for that. A decade later, we finally reached conclusion of the story, and let's just say, not everyone will like it or appreciate it, but I will explain why the ending was justified. There is no more upside down, no more synths blasting at max volume, and no more pretending like Vecna's neck wasn't a lot. And like every big finale, the internet immediately went to war, review bombs, mass hatred, and wokeness. So today, let's talk about why the Stranger Things ending was actually well written. Not perfect, but smart, intentional, and exactly the kind of ending the show needed. Warning, there will be spoilers mentioned in this video. Stranger Things Season 5 has not been a fan favourite, but has really good moments, from when we see Will get his Vecna powers, or when he controlled Vecna in episode 5. Great twists and turns, where we learn the truth about the Upside Down, and about the real reason why Henry/Vecna is doing what he's doing. Great writing. Let's dive deeper into the world of Hawkins. He didn't miss the point. A lot of shows end by going bigger, bolder, more explosions, and there was more CGI, which there was. One last button mashing boss fight. Well, kinda. The ending reassured us what the story actually was, because this show was never really about killing monsters or a show with powers. It was really about seeing these main characters as kids growing up way too fast and realizing the world is scary. The stakes are higher than ever before, and somehow we see how these kids mature into adults in a rather unconventional manner. The ending doesn't magically fix Hawkins. There's no reset button. Therapy bills remain undefeated. With all the chaos unfolding, it is difficult to remember the core aspect of this show: friendship. Eleven was an integral core to the story. She was part of the reason for all the strange things happening in Hawkins. She starts the series as a lab experiment who barely knew what a friend was. And for years, every solution to every problem was basically, what if 11 just screamed harder? And increase her power levels more, which she also did.
It's over 9,000!
But the finale finally says that's not the point. She doesn't win by overpowering the villain. She wins by rejecting everything Vecna believes in. That pain that makes you strong, that isolation makes you superior, and that emotions are a weakness. Turns out empathy is OP. And who knew? She didn't do it alone, she had help with a team. 11's arc ended rather blissfully. She had always felt like she was holding back, and that she's been protected by her friends and is not allowed to reach her full potential. I mean, can you blame them when there's a psychotic woman after her powers to make an army of super kids? Yeah, I think not. At this point, I think the Duffer Brothers just like breaking our hearts, as 11 had to leave the team multiple times, and you always thought, yeah, she'll be back, but not this time, and maybe it's the best for everyone. Vecna was never supposed to be defeated like an Elder Ring boss. The ending doesn't just stop him, it proves him wrong. His entire worldview collapses when connection beats control, when people choose each other instead of fear. And that's way more satisfying than watching 11 throw him into another wall for the 5th time. Well, maybe not. We've always assumed Vecna was being controlled by the Mind Flayer, which he was at times, but now we know the real truth about him. As a child, he was forced to kill a scientist who was holding him at gunpoint. Out of fear, Henry had to kill that scientist. The scientist was holding a briefcase, and in that briefcase was a Mind Stone connected to the Mind Flayer. We were all under the assumption that Henry was mind controlled, as Will was in season 2, but that was not the case. Henry and the Mind Flayer became one. Their values, their views, all lined up, which is why he used the kids as vessels in order to bring back the Mind Flayer, which he ended up doing. Would have Vecna redeemed himself? Possibly, but I think we all knew he was just too far gone. When all the events ended, Vecna dead, the Mind Flayer no more, and all the kids being returned back to the normal world, I pressed the remote and I saw 54 minutes left of the episode. I was like, how are the Duffer Brothers gonna end this? More twists maybe? But it was something I did not expect. Character closure. And Stranger Things actually sticks the landing here. Every character got their send-off. Character stories concluded, relationships broken, and new relationships formed. Everybody gets a fresh start in their life they should have had instead of the childhood they were robbed of. And it was reassuring. Blissful even. Something the show was missing for a while, and it was absolutely refreshing to see. A lot of people wanted a louder ending. Bigger, flashier, more screaming. But Stranger Things ended quietly, because it started quietly, with a bike, a flashlight, and a missing kid. The final moments focus on people, not portals, and that restraint shows confidence. The show knows why you are watching, as it wasn't just only for the CGI vines. The show started with a group of kids playing Dungeons and Dragons, and ended them playing that game again, much older. With the new kids taking the place of the OG ones as well, and maybe they will start their own campaign. The ending itself is open to interpretation. We find out that allegedly Eleven is still alive due to Carly, her sister, creating an illusion before she died in order to fool everyone that she died alongside the Upside Down being blown up. But this was told from the perspective of Mike, being the host of the game. Is she really alive? They all choose to believe that she is somewhere better without anyone knowing in order to keep them safe. Stranger Things ending actually worked because it understood its own DNA, it respected the characters, it respected the themes, and it doesn't panic at the finish line. Growing up is scary, endings are messy, and sometimes the best way to win is just choosing each other one last time. Personally, would I have liked a more epic ending? Hell yeah. While season 5 was not perfect, I felt like it ended the way it had to, the way the characters deserved to, what they should have experienced, and that's just great. So basically, this series was an entire role-playing game. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and let's see how this new spin-off show would be. This has been Stranger Things. Thank you so much for the ride. This show has been a special part of my childhood, and I just want to thank everyone who took part in this show. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.